What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time. In today's video, I'm looking at the Kiwi Ears Quintet. This is a quad-bred quintet driver IEM, and yeah, we're gonna dive right in and see how it performs. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. So yes, the Quintet. Look, Kiwi Ears, every single release pretty much, they've just been smashing it. They're unstoppable at the moment. They're like Moondrop 2.0. And recently they released the Quintet here. It's been out for a while. There's plenty of reviews out there already. I'm late as per usual, but I thought I'd try to push this one out. And for full disclosure, this review is a little bit rushed. I know that 11.11's coming up, and I know that a lot of you guys are making important purchase decisions for your 11.11 shopping spree, so I'm just trying to get this stuff out there before that, just to maybe tip you over the edge or help you make some decisions. So that's the box anyway. Inside you get a carrying case, you get some decent ear tips and whatnot. There's the cable, and it's a decent cable. It's a little bit tangly-wangly, and quite frankly, it's pretty darn average for something in the $200 price point, but it's serviceable. You can live with it. Here are the IEMs, and look at those. Honestly, I was a bit surprised when I saw these, because Kiwi Ears, they sort of, well, they became really known, as far as I'm aware, with the cadenza, and that just had this stunning, beautiful design for a, what was it, $30 or $40 earphone or something like that, and that, I think, was a huge part of its massive success. So it's interesting to see with the Quintet, a more expensive IEM, they've gone with this fairly low-key design that's quite utilitarian and not all that exciting in terms of aesthetics, but don't let that judge you, because look, I think they do look pretty nice. One faceplate's got the Kiwi Ears logo, the other one's got Quintet on there. They are aluminium faceplates, of course, and the housings are black resin with a glossy finish, and you can see the shape of them there. These are very comfortable as well, so super comfortable, just like most, well, all of Kiwi Ears IEMs for me so far. Very comfortable, and yep, that is the shells. Now, before we get into the sound, I have to tell you about it. First of all, the price is $219, so we're hovering around that entry level, almost into going up into the next tier. But check out the driver configuration here. So 5 drivers per side. We've got one diamond-like carbon dynamic driver. We've got 2 balanced armature drivers, a planar no, I'm not giving anyone the rude sign. A planar magnetic driver, and a piezoelectric bone conductor as well. So that's your 5 drivers, all packed in there for just $219. But honestly, that doesn't mean jack shite if they don't sound any good. So let's get into how these sound. So it's an efficient IEM. It doesn't require a lot of power to drive. However, it does scale considerably well with gear, so it is worth hooking these up to a good source if you have one. So a nice DAP or a nice dongle or a desktop DAC, whatever your fancy. In terms of the sound signature, I would say it's a nice balanced sound signature. It's got this really cool sort of pristine sound right from the get-go. It sounds very refined, it sounds astonishingly transparent, and it sounds very poised or sort of effortless. The bass is slightly elevated, but it's once again focused more on the sub bass than it is on the mid bass. We're getting pretty used to that. It's not straying too far away from that Harman style target, and the bass is, honestly, it is pretty darn exquisite. It is a very nice bass. It does have great definition, Very good control. It's a very speedy and nimble bass driver. It's got good texture. It's got rumble when you need it. However, there's just a little bit of sort of harmonics missing from that upper bass, which has been scooped out a little bit. But honestly, the bass overall is very, very nice. However, needless to say, if you are a bass head, then these aren't the one for you. Let's get into the mid-range now, and the mid-range is just, wow, it's beautiful. It's transparent, it's airy, the instrument separation is excellent. Vocals sound really nice. They're very articulate, yet there's no graininess in them at all. They're very smooth at the same time. I think the body is pretty much right. Like, some people have labeled the lower mids as a bit lean. I don't think so, really, to be honest. I think they're pretty spot on. And moreover, the mid-range timbre is good too. So your instruments, your guitars, your pianos and human vocals, they all sound pretty spot on when it comes to timbre. And then I'm cutting this review short, as you can tell, but then there is the treble, which is possibly, along with the bass, along with everything, the treble is exquisite. It is absolutely, I think they really, really nailed the treble tuning on the Quintet here. It is so, so nice. It's kind of like, this probably sounds a bit weird, but it reminds me of putting my face in, you know, those misters that you get, you know, on a hot summer's day, and you put your face in the mist. It's like that. It's kind of airy and it's refreshing and it's crisp, but you want to put your face into it. You know what I mean? It's not harsh. There's no harshness there. There's no excessive brightness there, whatever. It's just, it's got this airiness to it. It's got this nice roundness to the notes. It's got a quick and precise decay, yet at the same time the transients sound naturally rounded and smoothed. It is just such a good treble. I don't know if that's due to the planar driver. It could possibly be that, or the piezoelectric component in there, or a combination of both of them, but the treble is just absolutely delightful. I am not a treble head, and I'm not a fan of really forward or bright trebles, and this one is not really that excessive, or it's not that much forward. The treble is probably one of the most impressive parts of the Quintet's tuning. And now let's finally talk about the soundstage a bit and the technicalities. And these have got a really nice soundstage. It's not excessively wide, but it's nicely rounded. It's got a nice natural shape. It is pretty large in terms of dimensions. It's got good width, it's got good depth, and in addition, it has pretty good height in the stage. The imaging is very good, so you're getting very good, very solid positional cues. You can hear and get an impression of where each instrument or element is within the soundstage. Instrument separation is very good. The overall resolution is excellent, and the detail retrieval is spot on too. Very good detail retrieval. So let's do a quick comparison now, and I'm going to pull in the Moondrop Kato. And the reason I've chosen the Kato is because it has been one of my favorite IEMs, hovering around that $200 mark for some time. First of all, the cable feels much more premium than the Quintet's cable, but that's neither here nor there for a lot of you. I know a lot of you concentrate primarily only on the sound, and you might be wondering why I'm comparing a single dynamic driver to a penta driver IEM. Well, look, I don't really care about the driver configuration. I care about how comfortable are they, can I wear them for hours at a time, and how do they sound? Do they touch me on an emotional level? And if I'm considering buying an IEM or piece of audio equipment, I don't really think about, what driver does it have? I'm thinking about what is going to give me the best experience for the amount of money that I'm willing to spend. And that's sort of how I look at these things. So anyway, let's get on track. The Kato has a little bit less bass presence So the quintet slightly fuller in the sub bass particularly, and fairly similar when it comes to mid bass, and they've both got a nice speedy, punchy, snappy bass. And then in the mid range, the Kato comes just ever so slightly more forward. So if you're really into mid-centric, you might prefer the Kato, but then in the upper mid-range, the Kato also has more in that presence region. It's more boosted there, so that can sound a bit shouty for some people. So if you are sensitive to that presence range, then the quintet is probably going to suit you a bit better. And of course, in addition, the Kato has that cohesiveness of a single dynamic driver, you know what I mean? Although I think they've done a very, very good job with the quintet here. I don't notice any disconnects. It all sounds pretty cohesive and unified. But back to the treble, I'd say the Kato's treble is slightly more forward, and that is a result of less bass impact or less bass presence. Although it's kind of counterbalanced again by that little extra fullness in the lower mid-range, but I'd say the quintet definitely has just slightly more detail, but it's just got this extra something. It's got this X factor, the quintet's treble. There's something I really, really like about it. It's just got this sort of pristine sound, and that's the word I used earlier on, but that's the word that comes to mind when I think about the quintet's treble. It's just very pristine, yet it's detailed, it's got good density, and it is precise as well. So these are both great. I could listen to either of these all day long and be super, super happy. But let's sum up the Kiwi Ears Quintet now. And look, I am very, very impressed. I'm not so impressed with the aesthetic. I think they're a little bit kind of boring in terms of appearance, but I don't really care because they sound really good. And they are, on top of that, they are extremely comfortable too. It doesn't have a really beefy, impactful bass, although the sub bass does get up there, but the mid bass isn't all that impactful or punchy. Some people might find the mid-range a little bit lean or thin. Personally, I do not. And then some people might be sensitive to that treble and the overall sort of tendency towards slightly bright of the overall sound signature. But for me, I would say these are in my top 3 for IEMs, hovering around that $200 mark. I heartily recommend them. So if you are looking for something nice and light, very speedy but very detailed with excellent resolution and a beautiful, beautiful airy treble, consider the Kiwi Ears Quintet. And I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, Parfam audiophile style. And don't forget to hit that subscribe if you want to see more of my content in the future. And until next time, I'll see you later.